We had Bobby Roode beating Elias. Pretty boring match. Yeah, I mentioned Bobby Roode a few minutes ago. I wanted to talk about him just for a little bit because Roode is another example. You know, when you talk about talent from TNA, a lot of that talent has migrated over to NXT and WWE in recent years. And I was really happy when Bobby Roode came over. I was a big Bobby Roode fan, especially when he was doing the dirty heel stuff in TNA with Austin Aries. I became a fan of Bobby Roode, whereas before, when he sort of just looked like the Triple H clone and had the longer hair, you know, I didn't really think much of him. He was just sort of there. And then he developed a personality and he was kind of funny and he was doing the heel thing and I enjoyed it. And so when he came to WWE, I was excited. And in NXT, some of the heel work he did and like the heel promo stuff with Roderick Strong that I remember, it was very entertaining. And then he came to the main roster and he debuted as a babyface. And I thought that was a big mistake. But then I figured, well, maybe they're just debuting him as a babyface and it'll be a slow transition to a heel turn. So we'll start out with him as a babyface and maybe people won't cheer for him as much or they'll turn against him. It'll give him an impetus to turn or whatever. Well, he's been on the main roster now for a while and there's no indication that they have any plans to turn him heel or anything like that. They even had a chance many months ago to do a double turn with him and Rusev and they didn't pull the trigger on it. So he comes out every week and his music now, I think even with his music, it's sort of the law of diminishing returns where after a certain period of time, even the music is not enough, I think, to kind of draw a big reaction. The music is still the biggest thing that gets a reaction when he comes out. When the bell rings, it's just crickets. And it's not because he's a bad wrestler, it's because he's miscast. As a lot of people are on both of these shows. Randy Orton has been miscast as a babyface for a very long time. I don't know if turning him heel at this point is even enough to get me to care about him, but you know, Bobby Roode should be a heel. Bobby Roode should be a guy who comes out, he's all smug, he's hurling insults at other people, he thinks he's God's gift and all this stuff. That's what he should be doing right now. I'm better than you, I wear the fancy robes and the suits and all that. That's who he should be. And instead, a couple weeks ago, they have him on TV, he's hanging out with the mid-card brigade, he's, you know, shaking his ass on TV and twerking and all this stuff with Titus O'Neil, because nothing says star like, you know, dancing with all the mid-carders. And then this week, he has a boring match with Elias. He won. Yay, I guess. Whatever, good for him. But, I mean, he's got a very big problem right now in that he just seems like he's sort of stuck in this role that just doesn't fit. And people don't really seem to care about him. So hopefully they'll come to realize that very soon because, you know, he should be doing more than he is. And I think you've got a guy like a Seth Rollins as an example. Okay.